Hey guys, welcome back to another SketchUp tutorial. Today we're going to cover how to create an avatar sprite, or as it's called in SketchUp, a scale figure. A scale figure is a human scale representation of a human at that person's height, as shown as a sprite, and that's something that rotates around towards you wherever the camera's at within SketchUp. And we use those within SketchUp because SketchUp is an architectural software, and it's used to design things around human scale, like buildings and houses and that sort of thing. It really is great to use for game development and that sort of thing, because when you're in a game, you're usually a first-person 3D type thing. So that would represent the scale of whatever creature you are, or person on Mars or something. So we're going to be drawing a version of us using SketchUp's tools. SketchUp is made for architectural stuff. It's supposed to be precise and that sort of thing, so it's a little wonky in terms of how precise we can be, and we'll kind of fight that as we draw on here. But in the end, the hope is that we have a really nice version of yourself in SketchUp, an avatar, if you will, and we're going to make it at your height. So the first thing you're going to want to do is measure yourself. How tall are you? Write that down, and then take a photo of yourself. So you're going to try and take a straight-on photo of yourself, and you want your camera to be about mid-level of your body length, so right in the middle. So put it on something, you could put it on a bookshelf or a table, that sort of thing, and use your timer to get a nice straight view. And again, the most zoomed view you can have, the most zoomed lens that you have on your camera or your phone or whatever, is best. So let's jump right in. So first things first, we're going to get rid of SketchUp's default person here, because we're going to create our own. And then we're going to put a name in here. So we're going to choose a place to save this, and we're going to choose our name. Let's do first name, last name, first name, last name, avatar, sprite, and we'll save there. And so we took our photo, so I'm going to go up to File, Insert, and I'm going to find that photo, and we're going to choose Image as our type, and that will load that, and I'm going to put it right on this red axis, and there. Click twice, scaled it. Now I can kind of move this around a bit, again using the arrow keys to choose which plane I want it to manipulate on. So the right arrow key is the red, left arrow key is the green, up arrow key is the blue. So we're going to move that to here, and then I'm going to put in my height. I'm going to do that by drawing a rectangle, and again arrow keys to choose the plane that I want to draw that on, and then I'm going to do 3 inches by 6 foot, 0.5 inches, because that's my height. So there's my height. Let's grab our photo, and we're going to use Q to open up the rotation tool. And again, we're going to use the arrow keys to choose what plane we want to rotate this on. And so let's bring it up first. So we'll do green, and hold Shift to snap to the correct plane. There we go. And then Q again, and the blue plane for our rotation, and we'll snap that to there, and then we can move that over. And we can see not quite the scale we want, so let's use S to grab the scale tool, and we'll scale that up to the correct size. And now I'm going to open up my scenes window, and I want to look at this from the side so I can get a nice straight on view as we make this vector type sketch or tracing of my image. And I'm going to change my perspective to parallel projection, so that makes everything flat and we're looking straight on. That gives me a better idea of where my size is in terms of scale. And I'm lining up the top of my head with the top of that, and the bottom of my shoes with the bottom of that. And there we go. We have our image ready. So we're going to jump over to model info, and we're going to change precision to 1/64th and turn off length snapping. Snap interval, let's change it to 1/64th. Angle 0.000. Angle snapping 1 degree, and we're actually going to turn that off. So we're also going to turn off length snapping. And there we go. Now we can zoom in, and we can grab the pen tool, or they call it the line tool, I believe. And we can start drawing our different areas. So with the line tool, and I'll use H to pan around. When you have H selected, that is the hand. That's the panning tool. You can click and drag around, and that just pans where you're at, and without rotating. So I'm going to grab the line tool again, and I'm going to start drawing some areas. Start with the hair, and I'll try and do as precise as I can with the tools here. It helps to zoom in if you want to get more of a precise L for line, and I'm using my mouse wheel to zoom in. When you zoom in further, you get more of a less snapping happening, and I really don't know if there's any other way to fix that any more than just zooming in. I've tried scaling it up, I've tried everything. This seems to be all that works for the free version of SketchUp app. So I'm going to outline my hair, and switching between H for panning and L for line, and just continuing this line all the way around my hair like that. And once you close that together, you have your area, your geometry, as they call it in SketchUp. And so I can do a couple more, and we're going to keep our faces very simple. We're not going to have anything showing for the face, so we're just going to do the skin color. For the rest of me, again, I'm going to zoom in so I can have a little more precision, and jumping between H and L like this. And what's great about that is it continues the line whenever I go back to L. And we'll just close that off, keeping it nice and simple. Maybe I could go back and add my mustache in the end, and I might do that just because I think that might be kind of cool. So now that's our head and hair. And normally I would grab the eyedropper tool and use it to take colors from the hair, but it doesn't seem to work in here. So I'm just going to grab some colors out of here and maybe create some new colors. So let's find something that works. Let's go to colors, and for the hair, I used that hair that was already in here. Maybe I'll do a little more of a brown. This could work. It's a little more of a brown. Ooh, that's a little too red. Let's try this. That's a bit red. That's better. And then for the skin, not sure what a good skin tone is. That's definitely not right. Maybe I'll just use the skin tone that's in here already. Ooh, that's very pink. I don't think I'm that pink. No, I'm definitely not. But that should be fine for now. All right, let's do this shirt. And I'm going to go through, I'm going to do all the rest of the geometry for me here. That's going to happen quickly. For you guys, here we go. Super speed. All right, guys, now I'm just putting in the colors here. And I'm going over here and I'm picking my colors that I want to use. I'm thinking the free version now doesn't let you change the colors. I thought it did before, but perhaps I'm wrong. So for now, we're just going to use what they have. However limited it is. I mean, there's almost nothing in here of where they reduce the saturation on colors, which is disturbing that that's what they have. But there we go. That's my version of me. Maybe I'll make it a gray shirt. Yeah, that's better. So once we have our completed version of our person, let's jump back to the scenes, and I'm gonna go back to perspective view. We're almost there. Now, the problem is I'm flat. I'm flat. We want it to appear as a sprite, and that means we need it to rotate towards us all the time. The way we do that is we turn it into a component, and I'm going to call that avatar sprite. I'm going to have it always face me. It's very important that you click on always face camera. That's what turns this component into a sprite that's always facing us. And there we go. He's always facing me, no matter where I turn. It's kind of creepy. But we need him to rotate from the center. So we're going to right click on that and we'll say change axes. And we're going to move that to right there. Let's try that one more time. Let me edit this. And there we go. Now it's rotating from the center. It's a little tricky, but looks like it's working. And that's it. And we can do things like export a PNG of this if we want to show people, if we want to have an image of this, and we probably would get closer. Export PNG, and that will save just a kind of a picture of this. You can even make it transparent, which is kind of cool. And maybe I'll do that. I'll hit transparent. And then we'll export that PNG and we'll save that file to my computer. And we also can go in here and we can download the file for this. So that .skp file, that SketchUp file, I'm gonna choose 2020 as the year. And now I have that SKP file. You could give that to people. They can use it in their designs. You could upload it to the 3D warehouse. People could use it. And we're good. You now have a version of yourself that you can design around at human scale, at you scale. All right, that's it for now. See you next time. Bye, guys.